estás bien, te alejas de mí. Te sientes sola y siempre estoy ahí. Es una guerra de toma y dame, pues dame de eso que tienes. Oye, baby, no seas mala. No me dejes con las ganas. Se escucha en la calle y que ya no me quieres. Ven y dímelo en la cara.
Pregúntale a quien tú quieras. Mira, te juro que eso no es así. Yo nunca tuve una mala intención. Yo nunca quise burlarme de ti. Conmigo ves, nunca se sabe. Un día digo que no, y otro que sí.
Cuando estás bien, te alejas de mí. Te sientes sola y siempre estoy ahí. Es una guerra de toma y dame, pues dame de eso que tienes. Oye, baby, no seas mala. No me dejes con las ganas. Se escucha en la calle y que ya no me quieres.
Guys, were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was surprised. They're very proactive. And moving around guys, but I was.
Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this Friday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin, and before we get going, let's hear from Dave. Thanks, David. It's great to have a mix of those things. Adapt or die, as they say. Clark, I know that coaches have specific things they're looking to see this early in the season from their team.
Yeah, I think you want to see players figuring out how to make the most of their talents. You want to help them figure out how.
Play with about a minute and a half gone. Here's Oladipo. No good on that one. Some solid defense from Ibaka. Powell for three. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. Powell's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Collison kicks to Young. Collison against Lowry. The kick out to Oladipo. The three. Rebound by the Raptors. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
And you know what? They were giving away points, missing at the line. A big factor in the outcome.
Ditto that. When you give up this many points at the line, makes it a lot easier for the opposition. And the Pacers have made the playoffs back-to-back seasons and have only missed the playoffs once in the last 7 seasons, including a couple of trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. Nevertheless, there's a growing concern in Indy that the team has stagnated a bit and needs to move forward at a greater pace than what they had.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Collison kicks to Bogdanovich. Poke loose. Lowry passes to DeRozan, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It's on Thaddeus Young.
Boy, DeRozan is a treat to watch. This guy is athletic, and he throws down some monster dunks. This dude is sick at the rim.
Siakam is checked in for the Raptors. And the second free throw, good. And the Raptors, unique in the NBA, they have a whole nation behind them.
And basketball continues to gain in popularity, especially with the younger generation in Canada. The Raptors are coming to relevance at the perfect time, and the rabid fan base energized by how competitive this group's been the last couple seasons.
Trying to get open is Ibaka, and the shot goes in from Siakam.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
Two conference foes, guys, looking to take game 1 tonight. Yeah, very interesting to see who can land the first blow.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Sabonis, he's checked in for Young. And Stevenson comes in for Bogdanovich. And it's Joseph in for Oladipo. Siakam kicks to Powell. Here's Lowry. And Kyle Lowry over the last few seasons slimmed down about 15 pounds. He's Greg been playing the best basketball of his career.
No doubt. He's still got that low center of gravity, almost like a bowling ball. He just gets under his man, and his strength and tenacity enable him to create chaos at both ends of the floor.
Leaf checked in for Miles Turner. That's tipped. Kicks it to Joseph. Lowry brings the double. Here's Leaf. The shot, no good. And Toronto will go the other way with it. From deep, here's Nogueira. Great D that time from Collison.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Leaf. A three-pointer off the mark. Here's Toronto. They're on an 18-6 run. DeRozan. Nogueira passes to Siakam. 1:29 left here in the opening quarter. DeRozan against Collison. A second chance effort. And it's laid up and in by DeRozan. DeRozan's got 6.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
Well, Darren Collison going through the free agency process this last summer. Greg, Indiana jumped at the chance to add him to the roster.
Yeah, and with Collison and his ability to play in so many ways. That is what made teams go after him. He doesn't always take a big signing to change the complexity of a team. Getting solid contributors like Collison go a long way in building the foundation of a team.
He throw good, Darren Collison.
Boy, you go back to Darren Collison's career at UCLA, very distinguished, and he's turned himself into a starting caliber pro, too.
Collison hits them both.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
And DeRozan kicks to Lowry. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. He's got 5.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
There's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt. Kept alive. Sabonis, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Siakam passes to DeRozan. There's the screen. Takes it from 10. Powell for 3. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Joseph against Lowry. Joseph dishes to Collison. Stevenson right side. And it's wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
That's just really good clock management there. I mean, that's how you close a quarter.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Raptors lead by 12. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for them early on.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
Raptors leading by 12. And Nate McMillan, formerly an assistant in Indiana, now the head coach. Do you think it's tough to succeed another head coach that, Clark, you worked under?
I imagine there would be some awkwardness there, but in his case, it wasn't a mid-season transition. It was at the end of a season, so that certainly helps. Frank Vogel simply wasn't re-signed, was not fired, was not replaced, just wasn't re-signed. And I think all of that made it a little easier for Nate.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for Toronto right now, they've got C.J. Miles, Anunoby out there with Pirtle, and it's Van Vliet in at the 1 spot. Here's Siakam. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Toronto's gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. And Miles kicks to Pirtle. Makes it off the glass.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. Clark, we know how big a Ohio State fan, I'm sorry, the Ohio State University fan that you are. Who is on your list for best players in the NBA coming out of the Big Ten?
Partner, you know me well because I was going to go right at you to correct you on that. It is the Ohio State University, as you indicated. Well, right now, probably you have to go with Mike Conley. He's been superb throughout his career, particularly the last 4 or 5 years in terms of outstanding Big Ten players. Draymond Green, how can you not mention him? Double-time NBA champion. And then Oladipo out of IU, another guy that might be worthy of consideration there.
Raptors moving the ball around. Here's Oladipo, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
That's a nice stroke, and he's got a good feel for that shot. Oladipo never going to pass up the mid-range jumper when it's there for him.
Anunoby passes to Miles. Miles with another miss. Pacers trail by 16. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Joseph. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Ibaka's got his third rebound on the night. Anunoby passes to Pirtle. Offensive rebound. Out to Ibaka. Launches it. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. Now it's set back and look at the top passing teams in the NBA this season. The real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. The Pacers in fifth.
And a team that shares the ball will create opportunities for the right player to score.
Turner with the screen. Here's Joseph. Makes a big high bounce and goes in. Joseph's got his first points of the night.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Van Vliet kicks to Miles. And the pass to Van Vliet from downtown. Lock at 6. Here's Ibaka. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Ibaka's got 6.
And the Pacers really have been one of the more consistent franchises in the NBA over the last 15 years or so. They've not won fewer than 32 games or drafted higher than 10th since 1989. That's a pretty impressive run of consistency.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Indiana.
And they've been avoiding those deep threes. They're capable of knocking those shots down from long range, but so far they've really been reluctant to let it fly from that free throw line extended three-point shot.
Pirtle with the ball. He's against Turner. Ibaka outside. Pass to Van Vliet. We've got 1:55 left in the first half. From deep three-point range, and it's Miles missing. And the Pacers always find a way to hold their own, but still searching for that first NBA championship.
Yeah, you know, it's tough for every team, but in a smaller market, they don't feel they can afford to totally tear down the roster with a full rebuild. Indianapolis, as great a city as it is, not a free agent destination, so that makes it tough to build a title contender. You have to do it primarily through the draft and smart acquisitions.
Free throw good, Joseph. And Clark, when you played the NBA with still mostly American players, now the game is truly global with players from all over the world. How do you think that has changed the NBA?
Well, I think it's enhanced the NBA's product on the floor because, again, you're getting the best players in the world that are competing in the NBA with the international influx. I think it's added to the global popularity of the league without question. The NBA is clear in that we're going far and wide across the globe to find the best players to play in the best league in the world, and I think that's healthy and good. No excuse for that kind of defense. I'm positive they're upset about that.
Timeout called the Pacers. And a lot of speculation, Greg, this past summer for where Kyle Lowry would end up. Ultimately, he decides to stay with Toronto.
Yeah, you know, Lowry visited other teams but felt he had unfinished business in Toronto and teams up with DeRozan so well. Just a great fit for both sides when you look at it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Sabonis, he's checked in for Turner. Lance Stevenson comes in for Oladipo. And it's Collison in for Corey Joseph. Lowry, good.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
1:04 left in the second quarter. Got a piece of it. Fast break, Toronto. Lowry's got the ball. Here's Powell. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Powell's got 10 points in the game.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Sabonis drops in the short one. There's 45 seconds left now here in the second. On the wing, DeRozan. He's guarded by Stevenson. Nogueira dishes to DeRozan. Another shot. Again, Toronto.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now. Doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
And that one drops.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
And it's Stevenson missing.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Back to Valanciunas. Count the basket.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not
Okay. Need you. I love you. I do need you. I love you. I do. All I want